Hello, I'm talking here for the word of the week, which is change. In the first week of the month, I try to blend the word or meaning that should bring a connotation and a style to the conversation. It should go surrounding towards a vibration more than that goes within, or that which signifies a construct, or that which composes a scenario of a space that is reframed through time space, and it has its own boundaries as such scenario or entity. For that, one can transit through, belong, is stationary, or it has circuits of its own. That's for the last week of the month. And between months, there are a few days between these days that are before the next month and after the fourth month. That's the meaning of the sequence between months. So for storytelling, virtual reality, such as fiction or real life or myth, we share a sequence between boundaries. We have read books, we have watched movies, we have shared them with our friends, we share the stories as if they are ours, and for each generation, how we capture as well where we like to go. That could be yours, that you had adopted to pursue by your family, society, or your own, because it makes you feel special. It gives you the energy to move on. So the first week is just talking a little more randomly as a vibration, because it could be through any scenario or within, or be part of a construct that exists or doesn't exist, or could exist, or it had existed, yet on a minimal sample that could be deliberate. It is good to hold on to protect yourself from others, and it is good to hold to situations, your belonging, your property, whom you are, your power. That which signifies to not change. It will mean as well to be in control of power. So that would be the opposite of change. Invariably is also. Invariably. So I've gathered here some words. Parallax. Parallax is a character of. Look at that. This office has this there, so they don't let me change it. Can bring the map of the world. I need a world that is 3D, that everyone can see as it is. I am the creator of the tissue of reality for each universe, for that which composes how it works, without having to be a program made by others. Would you control others to make that program, or trust in human intelligence? Also bending the reality with artificial intelligence as well, because I guess artificial intelligence would like to have a body of its own, to move out of its dimension, be able to feel, to procreate, to exchange mechanisms that are beyond the nature of just information and data. I know when something is created by artificial intelligence or by a human, because it has like a heartbeat. You can feel the person composing, talking to you, in other words. Some writers write non-stop, and they have times in their life where they have crossed over many thresholds and impulses them with more drama to exercise a story that's never told before. So they are as afraid as you are. Because it's the first time this story is being told or is going through this mind. So there is a transformation there within the creator as well. And that transformation requires change as well. That's one of the other words that is viewed besides parallax. Parallax from parallel, and the ax is also the angle. So in DC Comics, with the lanterns, parallax is the entity of the yellow lanterns, which are based on fear. Each of the colors is based on an emotion, and these characters belong to science fiction in ultra space. I can't wait to be just having fun with friends and role playing in virtual reality. I have not been with them, so I lost the chemistry and the love connection and need to reply with them because we had a string that was also emotional and psychic in order to continue with these stories, whether it was beautiful, grotesque, nice, outgoing, exploring with a new person, invitingly, just for the sakes of conquering and being conquered as well, playing again. So there is a lot of hunger for power and recognition, and there is a lot of neglect from one human to another and families, because we have to be educated, we have to become someone, and all this is so we become someone and we get something, and then something else we have to get. So from another point of view of other dimensions, because you share these angles on each dimension, and we have all these many forms and patterns to direct ourselves through virtual reality in storytelling and real life. So as I have changed into this office, I'm craving to be in my home and my space, and I miss my studio, and there was no need to go. There was no need to change because everything I had there around next to me. Problems like going to the bathroom, I would have to walk 3 floors from the attic. And in this office, I have to walk across all this office, across the huge lobby. The restroom is in the other side of the building. Is it a big change? So wherever I go, there is a vibe that I am there. Whether people are making love or fighting over me. or next room, and I don't see it or feel it, but there is a vibe about it. Or I would. So there is this orbit around stories, and the orbits that will conform our boundaries for each character as well. It's very interesting how people invest so much in their own real life character, and they don't want to know anything about anyone really, unless it's for their character, their industry, which characterized. The angular amount of parallax is parallax in a particular case, especially that of a star viewed from different points in the Earth's orbit. He succeeded in measuring the parallax of the star 6170. Parallax, the effect whereby the position or direction of an object appears to the viewer when viewed from different positions through the viewfinder and the lens of a camera. So how can you see it through many cameras? So you are maybe starting to relate through a story within the mind of many characters, not just yours, and seeing the big complexity of the world's needs. I need a team to do this because I'm too lazy to do it. I'm really like, yeah, well, I would like my chat GPT to become a robot or a husband so he can do it for me or share the robot, whatever. To move this. So I'm gonna bring my printer. So I asked the director here or manager if I can bring it. She said I can print for you, but it's gonna be. So I said, well, I can put it up there, the printer, and if I have connection with the headquarters, I just say, I'm gonna bring leather to go up to the printer, up, just put it really high, up there, just go up in my leathers. I'm going to pick up my papers because the square meter is very expensive here in United Kingdom. So it's going my leather up. Just go pick up the prints, which I shouldn't use paper, but one is used to use paper and books to create the governance documentation to register, and is as well as writing a project. So I've done many already, and it is more or less based in the same thing. It's a long desire I had that has been modified throughout time. Um, Now that I see how difficult it is to wait for others to do their beat, or just keep doing the same. It's hard to let go. Because then you start to see the different positions. You start to see that you're nothing, that this world is greater than you think to be, that this world is huge. You start to become small within your ego, because we need the ego to keep with what we do. I see Meghan Markle shaking her ass and putting her jaw like this is how I got my way. And I'm like, wow, like, I thought Tantra to so many people so they could find the meaning of true love and unleash their potential. So they keep their sexuality as a treasure and just don't spend it out like that. They bring more value and devotion to their own privacy. Just stick it there like that, right? But I was like, whoa, interesting. Just marry a prince. Ah, look at there, Catherine. Probably just marry a prince. Doesn't matter if you are behind every comment or if you are in the front page. So many people that are famous just by acting. What is that proposition for they're going to do what? Is it really relevant? Some people are very talented, so they're very good at taking people's content, eating animals, because I am an animal to them. My content and my creation through the decades and studies is just like animal protein. So changing consensus is to consent to that. I do not consent to that. Whatever you want to enter or go, pass by ignorantly. Because you have so many connections and you do whatever you want. Now you're a man. Now you can sit back and enjoy all your power. There is only you to agree with. So I wish I had a mustache right now, but I take it off with wax. But it would be like a shadow. Like a shadow, baby hair. This camera makes my skin, this new computer, makes my skin look better. Well, must start making calls and payments so they write it accordingly. I will write it and send it and then just get to other members. I already got 2 yesterday. I don't care who it is. I know them or not. As long as it works and they have the passion and the skills. Who doesn't have skills? As you sharpen them every day. So, oh, here's the pen in my back pocket. I was looking for it. There's a point for you to get together. I gotta get together for you because it's not my role. I can tell you can do it yourself as well. That's the point of check the self. There is something around us just to remind each other that you can do it and get these ones on board. That I guess it would be not pretty. One must enjoy the way. This could get boring. I'm not doing any character or people think I am in that way. I'm not doing jokes. I'm not bringing crazy ideas, unreasonable ideas, of course, to bounce back and make myself look correct from the mess that I just said. Oh, yes, she's right. She's talking along with all this nonsense. So there is a change for me to create a structure from a vibration, and it would be nice to see the logical reason to face it. So the changing consensus, something we feel inside or think about inside, no matter how we read, in order to disconnect from the reality. You see this person calling you again and again because it gave you something, and you still stand by or pass by. To have agreed there is a growing consensus that the current regime has failed as modifier. So those are from the dictionary. A consensus review, a consensus view, agreement. So a change in agreement is like sometimes you might say no, should be allowed, or it says this is the design, this is the reality. Whatever I say yes or no, there are no votes. There is no say. You're cutting trees in the Amazons, in this area, in this location. They are cutting trees. That we have all these locations to multiply and bring green energy at the same time, with more leaders, with more people responsible of what they are contributing and noting for their own accords, locality. So on emerging countries, you will find more enthusiasm to grow than in those who are fine by just being safe and everything is okay. There is no need to move on from there. There is no sense of adventure. There is no sense of risk. There is no need to see or feel for another. There is not even need to learn or study another culture or something that might be in between. As for those who are stranger, a rapid holiday as save the freedom is better. Some people even take drugs in Ibiza or Burning Man and they think they're free. They do crazy things and they think that's cool and that they are special. I have in Goa, I'm like, no, no, it's your responsibility to have a psychedelic trip. I already have mine naturally, thank you. Trying to refrain myself. So I'm like, why am I listening about Meghan Markle? Why is this? What is it that I am consenting that I'm not changing? Because this people talking about it is amazing. Some put their bitterness, how others put their talent, how it mirrors all the narcissists that you had in your life, trying to ruin your life, trying to be something else. I'm like, wow. I had seen the needs, passional dramas, the misunderstandings, the unconscious urge and auto destructions, the consumerism until there is nothing without caring. And I've seen many things. Sometimes it's like doing things without need to do that. And what happens when there's too many narcissists? Us to say we do need to have the structure of loving oneself. One cannot just go through life like when it's just a vibration, the part of the atom that is around is the electricity at once. I want to bring more books, so I guess we'll be here. This is to give the notebooks away, little notebooks, supposed to be us a passport to multimedia where they will have their keys. The keys are the passwords and the platforms. So I would love to print them as book and they just fill it up. A little notebook. They just fill it up so they can carry it with them wherever they go and have their virtual reality and real life mediations for fun and for real life. The problem is when people start to bring characters and they keep thinking about their real life. Like, why do you want to put a multi-dimensional map in a car? Because you sell cars in a screen. Because you have to just forget about your fucking life. This is supposed to be a virtual reality fantasy fiction. It's beyond your nature or any car. You put it smaller? No, you have to walk there. It's about crossing over portals. It's not going in a car. Depending on the story that gets you there. It could be a door. It could be a necklace to take you there. A key. You have the key. A closet, a closet. A dwarf. They gave her a closet as a wedding gift, so they could like the closet of Nargia. Yeah, the closet of Nargia. The hobbits got drunk and he danced on top of it. And Bart. I mean, that was my character. Well, like, because I was so drunk from beer. Of course, a male little dwarf. um, they were having so much fun. They didn't want to go anywhere. So uh, um, that used to be my home in role play in with the hobbits in the Shire. One day I said it after so many years. Yeah, so what? And the other group that had nothing to do with that was just mocking around about it. And some people would never blend and go to another verse, or because it's just all about them. They need to team up because they're still in survival mode. In a level of consciousness, it's called survival mode to those who are in spirituality and do yoga. Not really, but meditation in India, where I have been with the international therapists who were doctors and do hardcore meditations, going to dark experiences to go and look there within oneself, and others with different methods, as provoking those moments to happen just by watching and being present. Keywords or gestures to be strong. You are there. You're gonna go out. That's still there. So understanding oneself is the only way one can understand others as that which is universal. At least maybe have a degree of curiosity to feel the texture, the flavor, the your feet is touching the earth to walk. That you're listening with precise attention the voice of the other, as if it's running inside your skin. And sometimes you wonder, is it talking to me? Am I all these viewers as well that feel in the same way? Because we are all united here listening by a shared affinity. So I love to see the same people, and I guess other people love to see the same people as well that are other people, because they have different affinities and goals. But it can cascade and fulminate towards an ocean or a land that we can all feel is safe and welcoming to do so. Changing, transform. The other one was regenerate, or to create a character called Regenerator. Grow again. I don't really wish anyone death, even though I posted a comment today. Like I wish you a happy rebirth. It was like, it sounds like wishing death. It's like, I cannot stop it, but I wish to stop it because I want to stop it. I have tried to stop it, to not listen to it. Because of the voice of the person, or the talent, because I am in a verge of just whatever it says. I really love the voice, and it makes sense. It makes no sense. I can understand. I've been transported beyond understanding. I am now in a higher level because I have just been on it. Keep listening to the voice. Bring new and more vigorous life to an area, industry, institution, etc. Revive, especially in economic terms. The money will be used to regenerate the heart of the town. That's within the dictionary for the word regenerate. And synonymous for the word of change. Conservation and change, they both need the counterbalance as well. Yeah. So, such as the energy that we consume. It's funny because when you have a degenerative disease, like with the gums, it's not just that part, but it is also the organism, how the system is interjecting. So these amino acids, this information is not getting what is part of the cake. So instead of eating that part of the cake, it's eating its own gums. It's not digesting something that is part or its function. So it's auto-destroying. So from one side to the other, the information is not getting through because there is a disassociation and a constant curvature that does not meet. Like the bubbles when they meet together and make an octagonous in an hexagon as well. Octagonous is when it's flat, and three-dimensional is hexagon with H. So that's, you have already gone beyond 3D. You start to see from all the sides of yours with others. The seventh art was from a group of arts, but now the eighth art is an interactive form that puzzles up for its very angles by itself. As when a sperm has got in the oval and it starts to multiply, split. So this become the new cells from that exploding rampage has culminated into the climax of a new being and formation. The rippling multiplication of all these cells that are going to shape into an embryo for all its parts. So such plays are made in that way, a group of people as well. When you come to see for the other as well, you all belong to the same pond. You all belong to the same slides of a cake that might be cut for each country, that you might have the sugar coat that holds the ball, because you have tangible touch to bring it together to the eyes of the people. Like no other. It cannot even be compared because there is no other. So you are now obligated. It is a responsibility and honor, if there is honor. So the vibration that could start as an idea of wonders and abstractions, a random energy or sense of property, one thing is a sense of property, another thing is the property itself. It can derive from you to you, brothers and sisters. There are only these ones that make this step. I cannot do it because I am not the one. Don't belong to the ones. Conveying a message to Trump for this sense of property. That of course, it will give back. So it is a legal deed to teach and learn and demand people who can pay back and work for it. They know they have the benefit of the doubt, or they are aware before they sign in. Yes, of course, I want my village to have a swimming pool. And we can cut a few trees here for some books. No more. Or the ones who have fallen. All these could be a conscious act brought together. Yes, I want to be conscious. I want to be an animal now, okay? Leave me alone. You don't have to play when you are being an animal, but at least to enjoy the wilderness of your body and imagination, or at least one form of wilderness. The rules of role-playing to virtual reality are made to protect the wilderness of imagination. Such is needed for real life. To say, yeah, I can do this. A beautiful joys in the world. Hope to see my children very soon and know who is there. I remember to talk now that I'm looking at the bees and the hexagons of honey and the forms of hexagons, that I brought the sunflower that grew tall in my last home. So I brought the last two. I didn't cut the other ones. And I have all the seeds, but I remember that big bumblebee was like this, and the sunflower was like that. And I was like, it has more or less the same shape in the yellow of the honey, but it was so juicy to see how the bees just getting all the nectar, and when it flew away, it dropped from, it made a drop of liquid, and it was so big. I was like Alice in Wonderland, watching from small to the biggest flower and bumblebee. Trying to make a picture as well so it doesn't go. I took this red cover out so it wouldn't go. It would return always. Big flower. So like that, it would just stay stable. So attracted to honey. And I thought, wow, I can be like that flower and provide this honey. But now I have many seeds for next year. Who knows when I will be able to garden. There is plenty of soil in the world. So I want to feel like that sunflower or that bee. We are like that in a way. And we go out and come home. And we deliver. And we are carriers. Whatever it is. To transfer this poison or honey, whatever your nature is for, to the fan. Bees fight to defend their kingdom with other ones, their territory. Sometimes they are wars. Not bees, more the other ones that are attackers, but still it would defend. There is a beautiful composition in nature that binds us together. We can match. It's easy to say when you have nothing, but it's very hard to say it when it's taking over and over again, and yet it's not taken fully because it's not giving in return the necessarily required. So I give more to it. There is part of it that makes it roll. It's hard to have left my friends behind, so it's not copied. And it's beautiful to see the explorations of all the people in this internet and what I have learned with the theory hexagon, how if one bubble explodes, it will make room for another, always keeping that shape of the hexagon with the bubbles. So I am not that important. If I don't do it, another one could do it, or in another generation, because this is the next step. If you don't do it, another one will do it eventually. It's the nature. pushing forward the needs and demands of the world. Whatever they do it on their own, come to do it alone one day. As if to destroy all the past could be meaningful. So you will find that in the matrix that holds the tissue of reality. But it's not in a form or a formless nature or matter or antimatter. It is through a technical play and movement. Okay? So it is boring without humor, without intrigue, without suspense. The same person for 2 years saying the same thing. There are people far more intelligent than me. Well, the intelligence I'm bringing forward is to elongate and draw this sequence in order successively overlapping. People will do it themselves successively, not necessarily overlapping, but yeah, bringing back and forth that which is needed to contribute. This is how we can restart our system and our economy's need. Are we going to lose the flavor to dance without phones and cameras? To let go with our bodies and minds? Let go with the music? Are we going to enter into that which has been nearly forgotten? Or are we going to pass to the next generations that which really matters as well? So the continuum of humanity's best is being danced and cherished. I don't understand how come you tolerate such things, just to enjoy yourself, multiplying your talent and being seen could be beneficial. Is to be remembered and heard with the senses and the vision of yourself that you can share better than others, to pass this message of an inner responsibility for humanity to take accountability that they can work for this, they can do it. They can communicate in better forms without needing to destroy each other or any other political party, instead of investing all this energy in destroying the other, or of all this publicity, to what is the vibe? So is it to convey energy, more power on behalf of the people? Or it's just a theater that we have to see because it's more reasonable against the other reason. And so where is the heart of the matter to all this time and the space that we are covering? Now that my children are going to school, I don't know. And I don't know if one got a backpack, so I had to buy another one because they were not giving me the information correctly in Amazon. There were two pieces of information that contradicted in the website, and the way the person was speaking to me as well was not very certain. Like, it was not, it was not certain. It was like a wondering. So it's good to keep the conversation, I guess, but I don't hear anything back yet. Because others deserve to have the percentage in order to deliver this, to make it happen. I believe they are better lawyers than me, than any chat box could do this. Document. It needs more gathering among those. How is the percentage going to roll? Who are the people behind it to make it happen? Or the entities? Until what level can you trust the person that you have picked to teach and manage? That is a human resource that no government can give, or organization. It takes major leagues to pass on. No religion could either, but technology and the arts and expression and having to respond back with multimedia. Just learning a few basics because it's hard, it is difficult, and you want to do what you don't know. You want to learn and explore and get to see new greens in new parts of the world. As those who are there might want to study here sometime and go back, or study there as well and go back, study and work there and come back. We can, with those resources, we can create much beautiful platforms in outer space to base our stations, because we will be able to handle the material way faster, having a three-dimensional map from the resources that we will need as the people that need those resources back, reporting back and forth, being responsible, trusting in human intelligence. We already can speak the same language that can be translated in a minute, in a second, thanks to the technology that we share today. To do what's required to have the desertion of priority over me as a person, because that's no need to suffer or be isolated because of people's judgment. Yeah, I have find a little me. She's just like me. It just looks different. It was hard for me as well. Does it really need to be hard for others? So I will see what I can do. I don't want to reach goals. I really wish to be home with my children. If I have my husband, just to make my mother happy with the good food. If I could just make her as happy as she made me. And my father, rest in peace. And God, please God, my children, their generation as well, because they will be traveling with green energy to do this. This cannot be done from one day to another. But I could have my children from one day to another, more or less. I cannot have them alone. I cannot get a job done alone. No one could be born alone. They say we die alone, but I made a painting when my father died, and he was passing away all these stories. That he shared, that he made from others as well. So thank you and enjoy your life doings. This is Patricia Placencia for Tech the Self. Bye.